So I'm not going to name any names because I don't want anybody to be embarrassed. But somebody in this car ate a king-size pack of Starburst, a pack of Skittles, 2 sleeves of saltine crackers, and 2 Core Power protein shakes last night. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh my goodness, JJ's fallen off the wagon. Somebody help him. He's going to get fat again. But that's not the case. This was a very strategically planned refeed. And let me talk about refeeds for a second, slash cheat meals. After you diet consistently for weeks, having a refeed meal is actually more beneficial than not having a refeed meal. And let me dive into that a little bit and explain why. I'm not talking one cheat meal a week, right? I'm talking you've gone 2, 3, 4 weeks of a consistent calorie deficit. Your glycogen stores are depleted. You're feeling flat, and that fat loss is getting a little bit harder. Well, why is that? Once your glycogen is pulled out of your muscles literally get smaller. For every gram of glycogen in your muscle, it also pulls 3 to 4 grams of water into your muscle with it. So your muscles literally get smaller the more consistent that you diet. 2, it drops your cortisol level back down. So again, after weeks of consistent dieting, that cortisol, that stress hormone, is consistently rising to the point where it makes it harder to burn fat. So enter a refeed, it'll drop that cortisol level back down. It'll also boost your leptin and your thyroid, which are literally your fat burning hormones, back up. Also, it boosts your insulin sensitivity. So when you're cutting, your muscles become ultra insulin sensitive. So introduce a refeed, everyone thinks, oh no, I had a massive cheat meal. I'm going to put on pounds of fat. The scale jumps pounds in the morning. It's way higher than it was the previous day. You think all hope is lost. Now, the cool thing about that is because you've been so consistent with your calorie deficit, almost everything that you eat will go straight into your muscle because they are so insulin sensitive. Now, the way I do it is I've been eating 1,800 to 2,000 calories every single day for the past 2 months consistently without a refeed. So all I did was I ate that refeed meal last night, which brought me back up to my maintenance calories. So I'm not going to put on an ounce of fat. All of those carbs are going to go straight into my muscle. It's going to help me repair my muscles faster. It's going to literally make my muscles grow by pulling water into them and rebuilding those glycogen stores back up. I think the problem that a lot of people have when they start a diet is they start off super motivated, right? I have 20, 30, however many pounds you want to lose. And you're like, I'm going to lock in. I'm not going to have a single cheat meal until I hit your goal or hit my goal. Which, I love the dedication, but the problem is that first cheat meal, that first time you slip up on your diet, you think all hope is lost because you step on the scale next morning and you're up 3, 4, even 5 pounds the next day. And you think, I just undid all the work that I've been doing with my diet. There's no hope in hopping back on the diet because now, I put on 5 pounds since yesterday. When in all reality, if you've been consistent for a couple of weeks, all that's doing is pulling water into your muscle, and it's not storing any fat at all. And if it does store fat, if you really go wild on your cheat day and say you eat in excess of 1,000 calories, you're still not even going to put on a pound of fat. That's not even a third of a pound of fat, right? A pound of fat equals 3,500 calories. And so you're not even putting on a third of a pound of fat. So what I would suggest is incorporate these refeed / cheat meals into your diet. Now, weekly is probably too much, but say every 2 weeks you want a refeed meal to bring you back up to your maintenance calories. That's perfect. That's exactly what your body needs. But what you need to do is make sure to track that refeed, right? A lot of people say, oh, it's a cheat meal, I don't really need to count my calories. You do. You want to make sure that those calories are getting brought back up to your maintenance calories. That way, all those carbs that you're eating on your cheat meal will just get stored into your muscle as glycogen and water. Long tangent to start off the morning today. Really excited. I got a refeed meal last night. I'm feeling great this morning with all those extra carbs. I'm ready to go in and smash some back and biceps today. I love back and biceps day. You know, obviously the back is a massive point of emphasis for competing in men's physique. So today we're really going to be focusing on exercises that widen those lats. You know, we want them to be hanging when we're posing on stage. So we'll do a lot of width exercises for the backs. I mean, who doesn't love just hammering out some good biceps, right? So we'll get those biceps pumped. And yeah, I mean, I'm just pulling up to the gym, so I'll see you guys in there. All right. Do some close grip lat pull downs here to start. I think I got the music situation figured out, so that's good news today. Gotta get these straps all set up here. If you're not using straps on your back day, I'd recommend it. So, as I mentioned today, we're going to be focusing on that back width, those lat width. Starting off here with some close grip pull downs, palms facing each other. And on these ones, you can lean back a little bit. Now, you don't want to be using your momentum to hold a weight down, but a slight lean back's fine. Like this, you want to, on these ones, focus on driving those elbows down, right? Pulling with those elbows. So we'll start off, I think we'll do 3 to 4 sets here, and then we'll go do some heavy rows on the row machine. Then we'll probably do some single arm pull downs as well. Again, you guys know from my previous videos, I change my mind all the time, and a lot of that is based off of what machines are available at the moment. So we'll go in and hammer out a couple of sets here. Again, use the wrist straps. You don't want to be reliant on your grip to train your back. So get those wrist straps. If your grip is as strong as your back, then that's a problem. Your back should be far stronger than your grip strength. So again, slight lean back's fine. Just make sure you're pulling it down in front of you. Drive the elbows down. Oh. Yeah, it's amazing the difference a refeed makes in my training. I feel like I have at least double the energy that I had yesterday. So it's gonna be a good workout today. third set here. All right. I think we're gonna stop at 3 sets here. We got some more pull down type movements we'll be doing a little bit later on. So let's stop it there at 3 sets. Move on to some rows. So on these ones, the same rule applies here. You don't want to be using your momentum. You don't want that core rotating at all when we do these. So when you do them, I go on this vertical grip here, and then you want to think elbow driving to your pocket. So I also I sit back a little further. I've got longer arms, so I use this arm to stabilize me here, and then again, no momentum. Drive that elbow to your pocket. Get a little bit of stretch here at the end, and then drive it down. No core rotation, just all back. Then again, on these ones, start with the weaker arm, go close to failure, match the number of reps with your more dominant arm. Yeah. Set number 2. Oh, those extra carbs helping me out a ton today. Feeling good. Huh. again, I can't emphasize enough. Form overweight any day of the week. If you're trying to do heavy rows, but you're rotating your core to pull that weight back, you're not doing your back much good. Go lighter. Focus on keeping those shoulders square, driving the elbow to the pocket. You'll notice a significant difference in the amount of muscle mass you'll put on. Ego lifting, I hate that term, first of all. So I'll say lifting heavy certainly has its place, right? At some point, you just got to be doing heavier than you did last week. Now, I'm not doing that right now because I'm deep into this cut and I'm not really focused on putting on muscle as much as I am maintaining the muscle I've already been able to put on. But lifting heavy and pushing yourself certainly has a place. But if it comes at the expense of your form, make sure that form is dialed before you start really going heavy with the weight. Again, you do yourself no favors if you say, yeah, last week I could row 3 plates this week. This week I can row 4 plates. But in all reality, you're just pulling it back with your core with a little bit of back activation. You're much better off just doing the 3 plates with perfect form. So we'll finish up set number 3 here. I think after this, I like to do some heavy preacher curls to get the biceps going. Now, I know people say, get your compound lifts in first, which I agree. But at the same time, doing a couple of heavy sets on my biceps while they're still fresh really, really helps them grow a little bit. So we'll finish up this last set of these, and then hopefully we can go grab a preacher curl machine and do some heavy preacher curls. Let's finish up this left arm here. Ooh. Ooh. All right. On to the next. Right. Got some preacher curls here, and like I mentioned, I'm gonna go pretty heavy on here. Do one warm up set to get those biceps firing, but a lot of people are scared to do heavy preachers. I think a lot of us have seen that video of the dude doing them with a straight bar. You're getting that double bicep tear. Now, a couple of comments I'll make there. First and foremost, don't do them with a straight bar. I mean, that rotates your hands and puts a lot more tension on those biceps. So find something like these where it's got the angle bar. And second of all, your odds of that happening, if you're natural, are very, very slim. The problem, where you run into problems is when you become enhanced, your muscles grow a lot faster than your tendons and your ligaments. So that puts a lot of stress there. And that's where you can see stuff like double bicep tears on preacher curls. But go ahead and move this camera back just a little bit. And I gotta track down another 45 to throw on. For the purpose of these, I'm not doing crazy high reps. I'm doing heavy. Goal is around 6 reps. I've got a lot of bicep exercises planned for later on in the workout. We'll make sure we get that pump, that lower reps. But for this, we're going to go heavyweight, lower reps. Oh, yeah. That's good stuff. Set number 2 here. Oh, oh, that was a good one. All right. Last set here. And I'm thinking we'll go do some light trap work and then finish up our back exercises and get some more biceps in. But we'll see what the day has in store. Got to finish strong here. Ooh, last one was a struggle. That's what we want. On to the next. All right. We're going to do some lighter cable rows here. I already got my heavier ones in earlier on the machine with my single arm. So main focus here, again, elbows to the pockets. Now, a good lean forward is good. You can get a little bit of lean in there. But if it gets to the point where you're using that momentum to pull it back, that's where there's a problem. So again, can't emphasize enough. Lighter with better form is much better than heavier with that form. So come here. Again, the goal is a little bit of lean, elbows down, driving to the pockets. There is a major difference in how my muscles feel today versus yesterday. Man, again, you want to be very selective when you incorporate repeats, but when you can have them, man, feel really good the next day. It's exactly what we want. All those carbs pulling that water into the muscle. Set number 2 here. Good stuff. People talk about the difference between discipline and motivation all the time. And the key difference is discipline lasts, motivation doesn't. Anybody can be motivated for a short period of time, but not everybody can have the discipline to get up and go to the gym when they're tired, when they're deep into a cut, and they really don't want to now. I'll admit, that part's not hard for me. I love coming in here every morning, have a little bit of time to myself before I go to work. Really just think about the day, think about what I need to do. Now, I think the mistake people make, especially when starting to go to the gym, they expect results quickly. I mean, that's how we're wired as humans. If we put in the work, we want the reward from it. Now, I love what Sam Sulek says about that, right? You're going to the gym once, you get a workout, and you're the same dude you were when you walked in the gym that morning. Now, you get 100 workouts in, you're starting to notice a difference. You get 1,000 workouts in, you're a different person entirely. So, you're tired, unmotivated, just get it done. I've never had a day where I didn't want to go in and work out and I regretted getting in the gym after the fact. This simply doesn't happen. Last set here. On to the next. These, I think, are my favorite exercise for those rear delts. So you find 2 cables here, cross them over, extend it back. It's gonna hammer your rear delts. Now, you're gonna have to go pretty darn light on these ones, but oh, they are real nice for your rear delts. Now, some people do their rear delts with their shoulder days because, well, it's part of your shoulder, but rear delts to me are more of a pulling movement. So you want to, I like to incorporate them on my pull days. But again, you have to go pretty light on these ones. I mean, I'm doing it with 10 pounds each right now. I'm gonna move the camera here, get a little bit of a better view. But again, we want to avoid muscle imbalances. So I did it right arm under, left arm on top last time. So I'm gonna do the exact opposite. Now, that's a very small thing, but we want to avoid muscle imbalances as much as we can. So again, chest up, keep those elbows bent to the same angle the entire time, and then pull back with those rear delts. Focus on sweeping your elbows out and back. A few more sets here. Last one. Finish up strong. Let's go hammer out those biceps. We're gonna get some alternating dumbbell curls going here. Now, go with these. Start with the neutral grip, and then try to rotate your pinky to the sky. Let's get these ones pumped and all right. Last set here. Make it a good one. I think we'll go do some preacher hammer curls after this, if we can get the right machine for it. But biceps are getting pretty pumped. All right, on to the next one. All right, preacher curl machine we wanted was taken, so we're gonna do some pull-ups here. Make sure the back is nice and cooked before we finish up with some preacher curls. Oh, yeah, still got some in the tank when it comes to our back here, so we're gonna shrink out at least one more, maybe two more, and then we'll finish up with our hammer curl, preacher curl machine, however you say that. But I'm not taking super long breaks here. Want to get that back fully pumped out, so heart rate's still a little high, but we're gonna jump into the second set. This will probably be our last one because looks like that machine just opened up, so hopefully we can finish up this one, make it over in time before anyone snags that machine. All right, let's go snag it while we can. All right, machine acquired. So on these ones, I'm just focused on
grabbing the middle of the handle, palms facing each other, and doing more of a hammer curl type preacher formation. So I'm going to give it a little bit longer. Heart rate's still up there a little bit from the pull-ups I did. But we're going to want to hammer these out, get those ones pumped up, and then we'll finish up here. Cool. Good stuff. Starting to get a little shaky, if I'm being honest. All that means is it's been a good workout. So to finish up here, I'm going to do a drop set. And then I think we'll call it a day. Go hit the showers and head into work. So good drop set to finish up here. Make sure those arms get fully pumped out. Let's go. Oh, those hurt so good. Well, workout complete. Be back here in 3.5 hours to do my cardio. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.